and welcome to another episode of the Y'all Are Crazy podcast. So excited to be here again. I have my mom attire on today.
You look like a Chandler mom.
I look like a sports mom because this is how I'm dressed, I feel like, most of the time right now, because we are usually at a ball game of some kind.
Usually, yes.
So this is my normal attire. And today we're going to be talking about the blessing of birth. So I thought, what a better way to celebrate that than wearing my mom hat, my mom colors, and dressing like I normally am.
What cracks me up about your mom hat and the style now is you got the gold chain.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
I love it.
across the top.
And it has my boys' numbers on it. I got my 20 and my 44.
You got like a megaphone deal on
my
there.
little cheerleading megaphone. It's been the most fun season. At any given time, I have a set of pom-poms. What are those bells called?
Yeah.
Cowbells.
Yeah, cowbell. Yeah.
Ring. I could bring Lucy the porch goose to any given game at any given time because she shows up to embarrass our children. And it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Oh, man.
So it's a really fun season that we're in right now. And yeah, I just love supporting our kids. So we're going to talk about today about the topic of birth. We get asked about this a lot. It's one of my favorite things to talk about. So I thought it'd be fun to share some of our experiences with birth and with all the times we've been through it. Like, we have some stories, and the ultimate purpose is to encourage women and families that yes, birth is hard. Yes, it's scary, but is it worth it? 100%.
Right.
So,
and I'm glad we don't have to do it.
Amen to that. If all the women and the men can give an amen to that, because we often joke that if men had to do it,
no, we either wouldn't have any or it'd be one.
The world would be much less populated.
Yeah. So,
but I also feel like every time we have a baby, it gives you a new respect for me.
It does. That's for sure.
I'm
thankful it's not me.
It makes you love me more.
Yeah. No, it does. That's true.
It brings us closer.
Yeah.
So we often joke that having a hospital stay after I give birth is a vacation to me.
Yeah.
And
well, you've turned it into, I don't know when this started, on number 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't know,
probably
but
5.
You know, now it's like a little mini vacation for you.
I mean, the 48-hour plan.
Well, and we give birth at the nicest facility, I think.
Oh, it's the brand new facility.
The brand new.
Now.
Yeah. We have to use a brand new one, and it's like a hotel room.
Yes.
You know, you kind of like go into the building and check in at the desk, and you know, go up to your room, and it's, of course, the husband still has the little hard couch thing in the corner.
That is true. Every husband will say that.
Yeah. So they don't treat the husbands very good. You know, we're chopped liver. We're just there. We're lucky to get a blanket. You know.
We do all the work. So,
you do.
Excuse me.
But anyway. But what I was saying is you've kind of turned it into a little vacation, and I think this last one you had a duffel bag made with like your name.
That was not why I had it made, but I did bring it.
I was like, what is going on? Had your name on it?
No, my
you
doctor,
had your own gown. You had.
Oh, I do have my own gown.
You're checking in to go do your thing.
Let me do my thing.
Yeah.
No, I do like having my own gown, because when you have a hospital gown, it's just not as comfortable. It doesn't, obviously look as nice for after you have the baby. You want to have some good pictures. Yeah. And you like, it's nice to be, you've been the only one that's worn it.
Yeah. So, and you like it too, because you get to go up there for what, 2 days or so.
Well, here's the problem. With our first few children, we were always like, get us out of here as soon as possible.
Yeah.
We don't like hospitals. We still don't really like hospitals.
No, I hate those.
But we were just like, get us out as quick as possible. Well, when you have your first baby, not that big a deal. Second, maybe not that big of a deal. But after you have a few children, what's waiting for you at home?
Yeah.
Your children to take care of.
Right.
Your home to take care of. And when you just run out of the hospital, go back home, like, you're a mom now, so you don't get to stop. I wouldn't get to just go sit at home and relax. Like, that's not the case. At the hospital, I get to have 2 days to bond with the baby, most importantly, establish a good nursing routine, get the baby comfortable with breastfeeding, latching on, super important. do that before you leave the hospital. And secondly, it gives my body a couple of days to recover, because if I go home, I'll be vacuuming.
Yeah,
I'll be I'll be like doing stuff around the house. I'll be picking kids up. You don't want to do that like the day after you give birth. You know, years ago, women would like lay in bed for 2 weeks after they had babies. Like this was our grandmas, great grandmas, not that long ago. Now it's like we expect women to just jump right back into life 2 days later. And I think God made our bodies to do amazing things, but I also think we need to honor our bodies and rest for a couple of days. So I remember, I think it was baby number 5. Our doctor was like, "Do you want to choose the 48-hour plan?" And I'm like, "What's that?" She's like, "I can write it up so you don't have to check out at 24. You check out at 48. And I'm like, "Oh, that makes me kind of nervous, but I'll try that." It was amazing.
Yeah.
Because I got to lay in the hospital bed and food was brought to me for 2 days. So it was wonderful. And so now every time I'm like, 48-hour plan, sign me up. I love it.
Yeah. It works good though. I mean, you get to rest and be served and taken care of, and have a little bit of time.
I look forward to going home. Like I look forward to being back in our routine and with the kids. I love it, but that hospital time, it's just the sweetest.
Yeah.
So take care of yourself as a mom, and don't be afraid to take a little more time to rest. Now, part of that's pot calling the kettle black, because I seem to jump back into real life pretty quickly. I always have. When you've been pregnant for 9 months, I think you just feel so good to not be pregnant.
Yeah.
That it's just, you just are like, I can breathe. I'm just ready to go live life again. So normally within that first week, we are back at church on Sunday. I'm usually, working deals on closings. I have worked several deals in the hospital bed on closings.
Right.
I think maybe all. I have been like literally in the hospital bed on the phone, texting, emailing, working counter offers, getting things signed. I know this time, the day of, I closed 2 deals before we went into the hospital, but it felt so good to get those signed.
Right.
So I do think there's a lot to be said about just resuming your life. But also giving yourself, I love being in the newborn bubble after a baby's born and just soaking that all in, and like letting the rest of the world just kind of staying out of that as much as you can.
Yeah.
So that's beautiful too. This time after we had our baby, I got mastitis for I think we had gotten home. So maybe baby was like 3 days old. I got mastitis. Literally one of the most horrible experiences of my life. And it was very, very painful. I got very bad fever and chills and felt terrible. And we had a meal train from our church. Church meal trains for the win.
Oh, they're the best. There's nothing better than the older ladies in the church bringing you food.
Was I
it's
don't
like
know
crock pot meals, casseroles. Amazing. It's like, let's go.
I felt so loved during that week because I was unable to cook.
Yeah.
I felt so
that
bad.
was the sickest as I've ever seen you. So.
Yeah, I wasn't able to get out of bed.
Right.
And I had the newborn. I was like, just let the baby lay by me, and I just can't move. I would get up and take a shower and just lay right back down, which is really weird for me. But yeah, church meal trains, amazing.
They're the best.
So some stories to kick off our birth stories. When we first had our first child, we did the Bradley birth method. Do you remember this?
I do remember that. Yeah.
It's husband coached childbirth.
Going to those people's houses and watching those traumatizing videos. And
yes.
I'm sitting here going, what in the world are we getting into?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We really, from the beginning, wanted to do birth in our own way. And I say that to say we wanted as little medical intervention as possible.
Yeah.
We just felt conviction about that. I've always been a very strong proponent as a woman that you should take control of your own health care, in that you shouldn't let a doctor tell you what to do. You should be able to make your own choices in that. And so for me, this is a fun fact. I've never done a gestational diabetes test.
Right.
That is very weird to people.
And you still get pushback on that every time.
Yeah, but I go to a great doctor who is like, you make your own decisions.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to do, I respect it.
Yeah. But
Not all
usually the
doctors will do
nurse
that.
or whoever that's
Yes.
saying, hey, now it's time for that. And you tell them no. They kind of look at you like, what
What?
are you talking about? You can't say no. And you're like, yeah, I can say no.
Yeah, so I've
You
never
know?
done one. There are other tests that I do each time, but I think it's just up to our own convictions.
Yeah.
What we want to do with our bodies. So that is important to me. I would highly recommend you go to a doctor who will allow you to choose what you want to do and what you want for your birth. With that being said, going into that birth, I think we had a birth plan. We were very set on like, this is the way it's all going to go and this is what we're going to do. It didn't really go that way.
No.
That was a long birth.
Right. It was like 66 hours, I think.
I was in labor for about 3 days.
Yeah.
That was long.
Yeah.
We did a lot of walking hallways. We got sent home once because I just wasn't like in active labor yet. Once I was in active labor, it just was very slow and drawn out. And when you've never done it before, you don't really know what to expect either. So with that one, it was long. And then I ended up pushing for like 3 hours. So it took a long time. And she was our smallest baby.
Yeah.
She was 7'2". So that was a long birth. But with our second, total opposite.
Yeah. We almost didn't make it to the hospital in time.
That was still my favorite birth to date. I
Yeah.
think
Well, that's just because it went so quick.
God blessed us immensely in that the first one was so long and the second one was sweet and short. I remember waking you up at about 11 p.m. maybe. We hadn't been asleep long and my water broke in bed. Still the only time my water's ever broken spontaneously.
Yeah. That's
So,
true. I didn't think about
I
that.
woke you up and I said, babe, we need to go to the hospital. My water broke. And I think you were like,
You can wait till morning.
sure? Are you sure? Because it was so long the first time.
Yeah. I was thinking, man, we got 60 hours. Like, if it's 11 o'clock, we can wait till the morning. It'd be just, but I mean,
And then
obviously you can't when your water breaks.
And then my contractions started really quickly.
Yeah.
I think we called both of our moms, and my mom was like an hour away. Yours was like 20, 30 minutes. And because one had to come watch our daughter, and one was going with us to the hospital.
Yeah.
So it was literally like they rolled in our driveway and we rolled out, drove so fast to the hospital.
Oh, yeah.
And got there, and he was born 20 minutes later.
Right. Yeah. They were trying to check you in and make you go through all these steps. And you're like, listen, I'm getting ready to have
I
this
don't even
baby.
know how I walked in, because we had to
Yeah.
walk in and go up an elevator.
Yeah.
You go to that triage thing. I literally don't even know how I walked up. I remember having to stop and like take breaths and breathe. And I remember it hurting really bad and just praying like, Lord, please, like this feels like I'm like ready to push. I just like, I needed relief. And I remember going to that triage and I was like, I need to push. And they're like, oh, honey, pee in this cup. Let
Yeah.
us take your blood pressure, fill this paper. I was like, I need to push right now. And they don't believe you.
No.
And they checked me and they're like, oh, you're a 9.5. Okay.
Yeah.
So I had him in triage with a midwife I'd never met.
Yeah.
So that was a great, great birth because I was like, I'm already done. Wow, this was fun. So, and then when we had our, well, I will say he was our only baby that was born early. All of our babies have gone over.
Yeah.
Our first, I think I was 4 days over. Our second one was 5 days early. The only one.
Yeah. He's still fast and
Furious.
Yeah.
And just can't
sit
wait to
still.
tackle the world.
And yeah. So
Yeah.
his personality
Very fitting.
fits that 100%.
With our third, I actually carried him to 42 weeks.
Which is
So-
another unusual thing that doctors or nurses will push back on you. They'll give you a due date and say the baby's going to be born this day,
Yes,
and you don't have to agree to that.
that's right. You do not have to agree to inducement.
No. And we're not here to like bash the medical field or nothing like that. But what we're saying is you have more freedom in controlling your destiny and doing what you want to do than you think you do, because it's not like the doctors will sit there and ask you, what do you want? They just give you a roadmap and here's what you're going to do. And And for a lot of people that don't have any plans, that probably works very well. But if you have your own plans and what you want to do and what you feel led with your body and your kid, then do it, you know?
Absolutely. We're just very convicted of doing things as naturally as possible.
Right.
So that's what we always strive to do. Like our body, I always remind myself before every single birth, my body was made to do this because birth is scary and it's hard. It's really hard. And so I always have to remind myself, your body was made to do this. God made your body to give birth.
Right. And it's important though. I mean, I don't know. I never had a baby, right? But your body's got to be ready to have that child. And
Yes.
and if they're trying to push you a due date that's, I don't know, 3 weeks before your body's really ready, because if you went to 42, you're 2 past the 40. A lot of people get induced at the 38, 39 weeks, something like that.
Yep.
I mean, that's a big difference in allowing your body time to be ready.
That's right.
And what happens with a lot of them is, it's not going well, so emergency C-section, and it's like, well, you saw that coming a mile away because you're not ready yet.
Yeah, and C-sections have a purpose, absolutely, especially in life-saving situations.
Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely. I'm so thankful doctors can do them. But I will say most of the time, C-sections are not necessary.
Right.
And so if you allow your body to be ready to progress as it is needed, you can avoid C-sections.
Mm-hmm.
So that's always been my goal. With our third, I carried him to 42 weeks. And thankfully with him, I went into labor on that day of 42 weeks. So that was about an 8-hour birth. So pretty good, pretty normal. Fourth child also carried to 42 weeks.
Yeah.
I was induced on the 42 week mark with him.
Yep.
I did not want to be induced, but I remember just giving it to God. I woke up that morning and I felt God speak to me and say, I have a plan and it's better than yours. And I just felt a peace come over me.
Yeah.
And I remember that day we got this giant, beautiful hospital room that you don't normally get. And just had a great birth experience. And I was like, thank you, Lord. You always know what you're doing.
Yeah. And it was nice to have that ability to be induced at that point in time when you were ready. Right?
I was ready.
So I think it's, if you do your research and understand, kind of how the process works, and then you can make more educated decisions for yourself in the moments,
That's right.
of
I
what
would
you need.
highly encourage women to read books when you're pregnant. Read books about birth so you know what to expect.
Yeah.
You know the stages of labor. And read books on breastfeeding. I know with our first, I did not. I just thought it would just happen normally. And our first child, breastfeeding was hard for me. I ended up pumping exclusively for 6 months, which hands out to pumping moms because pumping is a lot of work. A lot of work.
It looks like a lot of work.
It's a lot of cleaning parts and you have to, just pump a lot. So I would highly encourage you breastfeed if you at all possibly can, because it is honestly a lot easier and you don't have a bunch of parts to haul around and clean all the time. With our second, I read books. I was so ready. I was prayed up like I was going to breastfeed, and boy, did I.
Yeah.
And I haven't stopped.
No, you haven't.
So with him, I remember I also pumped a lot with him just because I wanted to maintain a really high supply. So I fed him for like 19 months. And I also saved enough milk that I had frozen it. And I donated it to the Oklahoma Milk Bank. And I donated like 1,800 ounces.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm.
But you did.
I did. And then I did that with our third also and donated milk along with breastfeeding. And then I kind of got lazy on pumping and I was like, I don't want to pump this much. I just want to feed the baby. So now I really don't pump much at all. I just keep the baby with me for the first 6 months, pretty much all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm blessed to be able to do that with my job and feed on demand. And it's wonderful. But don't just think breastfeeding is going to come naturally. Like, you do need to understand it. Find a great lactation consultant that can come over to your house and help you when you get home. Read books and be prepared and pray, because there's nothing better than a good breastfeeding journey.
Yeah.
It's the sweetest, best thing. So with our fifth baby, I think I was a few days over, and I ended up getting induced with him because my blood pressure got really high at the end, which is abnormal for me. It seemed, you just have to pray for wisdom and discretion.
Yeah.
Pray for that
Because
each
none of
pregnancy.
them,
They're
there's
never
not
the
like
same.
where they're all the same, at least for us. I mean, they're not.
Every birth's been different.
Yeah.
So I was induced with him, but once again, like wonderful labor and delivery, very standard. That was during COVID year that we had Barlow 2020.
Yeah.
This was like June of 2020. So hospitals were crazy, but gosh, we had a great experience. It was actually kind of nice because you were the only one that could be there.
Right.
And so it was just me and you, team,
Yep.
and had the baby. So that was a sweet time. And then with our sixth, he was a few days late as well. And I was trying to remember if I got induced with him. I think I did.
I don't
It's
remember.
hard to remember that. That was in 2022. I feel like the birth on that one was a little bit longer, like 12 hours, but had a great one. And then with our seventh, I remember very well because we just had him like a little less than a year ago.
Right.
With him, oh my goodness, I was dilated to a 4 for about a week before I had him.
Yeah.
Dilated to a 4. Okay. For most women, that is like you're pretty far along. You have to be dilated to a 10 to push a baby out.
Right.
I was already dilated to a 4. Oh my goodness, it was so uncomfortable. I can still feel like the pain of how uncomfortable I was because I was already had been pregnant all summer. It was hot. Another symptom I've gotten is varicose veins, and so my veins get enlarged every pregnancy.
Yeah.
It's very sad, very uncomfortable. It was Halloween, so it was trick-or-treat time, and I was not about to miss trick-or-treating with our kids. So I walked around and trick-or-treated at over 40 weeks pregnant, dilated to a 4.
Yeah.
That was rough.
We're trying to hurry and get him out.
You would think the walking would help,
Yeah.
but it did not.
Well, who knows? It might help.
It might have, I mean, maybe. So, he ended up having shoulder dystocia, and he was a hard birth because I was induced with him. We thought his cord could have been wrapped because he was not descending for my water to break. And my doctor was like, I can't even do a membrane sweep because he's not low enough. So we did induce at that point. Once again, wisdom, discretion. And come to find out his shoulders were just lodged in my pelvis.
Yeah.
So that was a hard one to get him out.
Yeah. We were thankful to have a great doctor at that point to,
Yes.
help you and not have to have a C-section because a lot of places he'd probably had to have C-section to get him.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I was able to have a good delivery with him, but it was hard. A lot of pushing on that one. And, but gosh, what's amazing is when the baby gets here, you've been in so much pain. I think our pastor says he watched his wife and he thought, how can someone be in that much pain without dying? But then the baby comes out and it's like, all is forgotten.
Yeah.
I feel amazing. That was amazing. And I'm sure for a husband, they're like, what in the world?
Oh, yeah. I'm like, praise God, it's not me doing that because, man, I wouldn't want to go through that.
Yeah. And you have watched every birth.
Yeah.
Yes, you have. You've cut the cord
Yes.
on every birth.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm proud of you for that because
Yeah.
you don't really like bodily fluids and blood.
No,
and all that.
not at all.
No.
But remember, there was a period of time with Baker.
That's what I was going to say. Did you cut the cord on him?
Yeah, but there for a moment, I had to go hide behind the curtain.
We do have a picture of that. My mom
Yeah.
was in the room.
You
for
could
that
see my
one.
feet under the
And
curtain.
she took a picture of you hiding behind
I had
the
to take a
curtain.
breather
You
because
almost passed out.
you was about to lose me, on that one. So don't know why, but
And that was the third.
Yeah.
And then you've been fine since then.
yeah. So
I think that a woman's body is just amazing what God made it to do.
yeah, that's true.
It's an amazing, birth is an amazing thing. God made our bodies to do it. And I'm so thankful for that. So part of having a large family is birth,
Yeah.
pregnancy, breastfeeding. But I think for me as a woman, like it's grown my mindset so much. I'm so much stronger. in my mindset and the fact that I can do hard things and God made me to do hard things. And then it's just, I don't know, it makes you feel very feminine also. In addition to being strong, you feel feminine because you feel like, hey, this is a privilege to be a woman and to be able to do this great work.
Yeah, for sure.
So we love birth. We love pregnancy. I love pregnancy, breastfeeding, all the things. And I'm just thankful to be able to do it. So this goes back to our lessons of just because something's hard doesn't mean it's bad. It just means that it's hard, and hard things can be good things. So obviously with your partner, get on the same page. You need a support system.
Yeah.
You got to be in it together.
Yeah. I mean, we talk about it a lot and communicate a lot, and you read a lot of books on it. Mm-hmm. I don't, but you tell me what they say.
I do.
So you've educated yourself a lot, and also you ask a lot of questions to, your doctor and stuff like that too. So I just think it's important to educate yourself and be aware of how things work, what your options are, and, how things work in different phases and stuff like that.
That's right. You do. You have to be educated, and you have to do the best you can. You can't just leave it up to chance, or the chances of that are things are just not going to go well. They're just going to be crazy.
Yeah.
So I think that you need to be intentional with this, just like every area of your life. Be intentional with your birth, with your experience. Know what to expect. Put your best foot forward. Trust God with the rest, because He will do it. Mm-hmm. So allow God to use your family in a way that glorifies Him, and He will take care of you. He'll sustain you even in hard things. That's some of our birth stories. We hope you enjoyed it. We hope you learned a few things. We hope you were encouraged as you've heard a little bit about the way we have done things. And we'll talk to you next week about a different topic.
Till then.
See you next week.